Welcome, and thank you for tuning into this live video. The Guyana National Bureau of Standards has commenced its activities to observe World Metrology Day, which is celebrated on May 20 annually. The theme for this year's observance is Measurements Supporting the Global Food System. In keeping with the theme, the Bureau provided free training for local manufacturers and agro-processors in Regions 2, 4, and 6. The training provided an opportunity for these stakeholders in the food industry to better understand their role in metrology. Topics addressed included the use of scales approved for trade, the printing of accurate net content on prepackaged goods, and the responsibility of the manufacturers to ensure there is accuracy in trade and others. Today, we conducted the metrology training for stakeholders in Region 4, and I will be speaking with the facilitators of the training, Mr. Vishnu Matpadal and Mr. Shailendra Rai. They will share with you some more information on the trainings conducted on May 9 in Region 2, May 11 in Region 6, and on May 17 in Region 4. You will also hear from the participants about their experience during the session and how they said it would benefit them in their businesses. We're here with Mr. Vishnu Matpadal, who is a Laboratory Technician 3 in the Industrial Metrology and Testing Department. First, tell our viewers what is metrology.
Hi Chelsea, so simply put, metrology is the science of measurement.
And why is World Metrology Day celebrated?
Okay Chelsea, so on the 20th of May, annually World Metrology Day is celebrated. This is to commemorate the signing onto the Meter Convention, and this assists or aid in the standardization of measurements in trade.
Given the theme for this year, the GNBS provided free training to stakeholders in the food industry. What were the topics covered?
Well, Chelsea, most of the topics covered dealt directly with measuring and how it helps to improve their operations on a daily basis. We talked about calibrations, we talked about verification, and in some instances where instruments needs to be adjusted and how it impacts the final products that they do manufacture.
And how was the feedback?
Well, the feedback was great. We had lots of interaction. Persons asked about the various ways in which they can get their instruments calibrated and why is it important.
Okay, Vishnu, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Well, before we go, I'd just like to say that you can always have your equipment calibrated at GNBS. We do calibrations in the area of pressure, mass, volume, dimension, torque, and a whole host of other areas that we perform calibration. So I encourage you to send your equipment, or in some instances where the equipment needs to be calibrated on the premises, call us and we can make arrangements to have your devices calibrated. Thank you.
Thank you, Vishnu. Now that you've heard from Vishnu, let us introduce our next facilitator, Mr. Shailendra Rai, who is the head of our Legal Metrology Services Department. Firstly, can you explain to our viewers what does your department do?
Hi Chelsea. The Legal Metrology Department is primarily responsible for the verification of measuring instrument use in trade. And these include things like scales, masses, measures, pressure pumps, bulk meter, tanker wagons, just to name a few.
And during the trainings provided by the Bureau, what were the topics covered under legal metrology?
Well, the topics covered under the legal metrology area had to do primarily with the prepackaging of products, because we're sensitizing agro-processors on the requirements that is relating to the prepackaging of product, which is a program that we expected to launch Friday coming. And it involves the responsibility, who is responsible for the prepackaging of product, the type of devices that are required to be used in the prepackaging of products, the training of the staff involved in the prepackaging of products, also the units that the prepackaging must be done primarily in metric quantities, since the metric unit is the only legal system of measurement in Guyana. And we also touch on the requirements of the Act that is relating specifically to the prepackaging of products and the labeling requirements for these packages as well.
Why do you think metrology is important to this group of stakeholders?
Metrology is important to them because they are primarily manufacturers, and almost everything they do as it relates to quality control and also the prepackaging of the finished product, measurement play a key role in it. So that is why we thought it best to invite them and sensitize them on the requirement relating to metrology so they could better improve the operations of their business, and also they could ensure that consumers receive the exact quantity of product sold to them.
So before we go, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yes, we would like to encourage the stakeholders, primarily the agro-processors that are involved in the manufacturing and the prepackaging of products, to ensure that if they are not meeting the requirements that we would have discussed this morning, is to ensure that they put systems in place to ensure that they comply. This would include acquiring the right measuring instrument to best suited for the operation of their business, ensure those measuring instruments are verified by the Bureau, also ensure that the staff that are involved in the prepackaging of products are trained to carry out that function.
Thank you, Mr. Rai. I spoke with some of the participants of the training. Now let's hear from them.
The session was very informative. I've learned more that it's important to use measurement and also use it in the metric term and not the imperial. It's very important to have your measurement done because if you go off, you can go off with your taste, and you can either gain or lose.
It was very informative. It has made me become more aware of how really net contents really are. If you are following a recipe, some of these recipes require specific grams and ingredients to add to your recipe. So with the accurate measurements, you can also get the accurate taste, the consistency, the aroma, the flavor, and everything else.
So let's say with our sauces, you cannot use too much preservatives or too little preservative because of fruits it ferments. So yeah, so measurement is important because you want your products to be consistent.
This training has been very, it's like an eye-opener for me. Because measurement, I always knew measurement is important, but not as important as I'm learning today. I never took it as serious as I'm learning today. So I think this training it's a good session. I'm going to apply it, and so that my product could be consistent. You know, you don't want to make something and one time you taste it tastes one way, next time it tastes somewhere else or it look different. So that measurement is important, and learning that I can get my equipment stabilized by you guys, which is great. That will help develop my skill of manufacturing, which will also impact the final result of my product. So it's gonna be great for me, yes.
I know you are now better informed about your role in metrology. Whether you're selling or buying commodities, do continue to play your part in ensuring there is accurate measurements in trade. We will continue to share more informative sessions and updates on our Facebook and other social media pages. If you have not liked the GNBS's social media pages as yet, do so now and stay informed. You will also find other opportunities available for partnerships and the trainings which we offer. To ask questions or make suggestions, you can contact us on social media or 219-0064-266 or on WhatsApp at 692-4627. I am Chelsea Griffith, Marketing Officer at the GNBS. Thank you for listening.